a forgotten village called Hollowshade, tucked deep in a valley where the sun barely reached, there stood an old, crumbling mansion on a hill overlooking the town. The locals called it the Wraith House, once home to the enigmatic Blackthorn family, who vanished a century ago under circumstances no one could explain. Whispers in Hollowshade spoke of strange noises echoing from the mansion at night, low moans, footsteps, and the occasional flicker of candlelight in windows long boarded up. Some swore the house was cursed, built on a secret that devoured anyone who got too close. Enter Sam, a 20-something YouTuber with a knack for urban exploration and a hunger for viral content. He'd grown up hearing the village's tales, but dismissed them as folklore, until he stumbled across an old forum post. It claimed the Blackthorns had hidden a treasure in the Wraith House, something so valuable it drove people mad with greed or fear. The post ended with a cryptic warning: those who seek the prize become part of the house. Sam saw dollar signs and subscriber counts. He grabbed his camera, a flashlight, and a shaky sense of bravado, determined to film the adventure of a lifetime. It was a moonless night, the kind where the air feels heavy and the wind sounds like it's whispering your name. The path to the Wraith House wound through a forest so dense it seemed to swallow light. Sam's flashlight barely pierced the darkness, and every snap of a twig made his heart skip. When he reached the mansion's iron gates, they creaked open on their own, as if inviting him in. The front door was ajar, and a faint, rhythmic tapping came from inside, like someone knocking from the other side. Sam stepped into the foyer, his camera rolling. The air was thick with dust, and the walls were covered in faded portraits of the Blackthorns, their eyes seeming to follow him. The floorboards groaned under his weight, and the tapping grew louder, now mixed with a low hum that vibrated in his chest. He laughed nervously for the camera, trying to play it cool, but his hands were shaking. Exploring the ground floor, he found overturned furniture, shattered mirrors, and strange symbols carved into the walls, spirals and jagged lines that hurt to look at. The forum post had mentioned a hidden vault in the basement, so Sam found the staircase leading down. Each step creaked louder than the last, and the air grew colder, like he was descending into a freezer. At the bottom, he found a heavy iron door, rusted but unlocked. Beyond it was a small room with a single object, a wooden chest, its surface etched with the same eerie symbols from upstairs. The tapping stopped abruptly, replaced by silence so thick it felt like a weight on his shoulders. Sam approached the chest, his breath visible in the dim light. He reached for the lid, expecting it to be locked, but it sprang open with a deafening bang. Inside was no treasure, just a small, cracked hand mirror. Confused, he picked it up, and his blood ran cold. The reflection wasn't his. It showed a woman with hollow eyes and a twisted grin, her face pale as bone. She mouthed his name, though no sound came out. Sam dropped the mirror, and it shattered on the floor. The room erupted in chaos. The walls pulsed like a heartbeat, and shadows twisted into shapes that weren't human. A voice, sharp and guttural, hissed from every direction. "You looked. Now you're out." Sam stumbled back, but the iron door slammed shut. His flashlight flickered, then died, plunging him into darkness. From the shadows, figures emerged, vague humanoid forms with two long limbs and faces that flickered like static. They didn't move. They glided, closing in. In a panic, Sam grabbed his camera, the only thing still faintly glowing. He sprinted for where the door had been, but the walls seemed to shift, turning the basement into a maze. The voice laughed, a sound that clawed at his sanity. The house keeps what it claims, it said. Sam's screams echoed as the figures reached for him, their touch like ice. The camera caught his final moments, his wide-eyed terror, the shadows swallowing him whole, before the feed cut to black. Days later, Sam's video appeared on his YouTube channel, uploaded by an unknown source. It racked up millions of views, with comments buzzing about whether it was real or an elaborate hoax. The people of Hollowshade noticed Sam's disappearance, and some claimed to hear his voice among the noises from the Wraith House at night. A few curious fans tried to visit the mansion to uncover the truth. None returned. The Wraith House still stands, its windows dark but never quite empty. And if you listen closely on a still night, you might hear the tapping, calling the next visitor.
Shadow Stories. Join our community. Like and subscribe so you don't miss out.